here. And the #1 player in Pennsylvania, I should add, like a big old asterisk on that. So this should definitely be a good match. Last time he was out here, I'm pretty sure he did get a top 3 placing. And, you know, ran his way through his bracket, made a few really good, I want to call them upsets, but they're not really upsets because, like, he just doesn't come out here a lot. Yeah. But he's still one of the best players in PA, so let's see what he can make happen against Seagull Joe's Diddy instead of Samurai.
Well, I will see, but I mean, so far it looks like Seagull Joe, again, with this very defensive sort of style of play, able to keep Blazing Pasta out, racking very safe percent off of Banana confirms. It's not looking easy because in order to really play his game, Ness has to get in. And how do you get in on a player who is playing Diddy like Seagull Joe?
Very patiently and with a lot of resolve, because you are going to have to keep on holding forward against Seagull Joe sometimes, even though it feels like an impenetrable wall. Ness is, I like to call him like kind of a lightweight heavy, in the fact that like he has a lot of trouble getting in, like a lot of heavies do. His frame data is like akin to a lot of heavies, but his hitting power is just slightly a notch below a lot of heavies as well. This, like when Ness hits you, he be hitting pretty hard. So once he works his way back in, I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe even take the stock away with all this rage.
I would, well,
I'll have
to see it to believe it, because it's so far he's only been able to tack on stray hits, and that's not doing you much in this matchup. He's already at 150%, and the way Seagull Joe's been playing, he's just not. He's not giving him any breaks. He's like not letting him back on the stage. He's keeping up these edge guards for ages. Almost gets the kill there, but Blazing Pasta popping out of it. Maybe a combination of like he held up and in, and there's some. Well, I mean, Ness is at very high percent, so but manages to find that up anti-air up smash. Will take the first stock off of Blazing Pasta. Only 18%, now 24. Basically uncontested first stock from Seagull Joe.
Joe's wild right now. The up smash was actually raw. Like he didn't even have to go for that like that, but just like he's feeling himself tonight. And when Joe's does that, you start to see some kind of wild stuff come through. And just like that, catching that banana mid toss, Joe's playing with a fire to him tonight. And right now, it's looking like it's working wonders against the #1 player in Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to see like maybe Blazing Pasta figure out some things about how to approach this. Look like that spacing there, anticipating the dash grab and spacing himself appropriately so that he can punish it. A lot of this matchup is either figuring out how to with punish Diddy, or how to punish his defensive options, that option that he chooses after the safe thing that he does to make it safe. 101% on Diddy Kong. That's probably kill percent.
That's probably back throw range right there, and Poyo popping off over on the other side.
I'm happy for him. He seems very pleased.
Yep. You know, that's how Poyo does.
Yeah.
Meaning we'll probably see him on stream soon.
Yeah, probably.
But right now, Joe's trying to accelerate that timeline a little bit faster because the edge guards right now are real. The ledge trapping right now is real, and that stock might be flying any second now.
It's certainly flying by the seat of his pants.
Yeah. And
that is he's going to fortunately re-grab the ledge, grabs the banana, and throws out the forward air. That's very good. Managed to get him a lot of stage control. But Diddy Kong with the monkey flip is able to seal it right back. That was almost a grab, which could have been scary.
Ooh. Yeah, Blazing Pasta is definitely looking for that. He knows that he needs to get this soon. But Joe, playing a dangerous game of chicken, just running up and grabbing the man.
I mean, it is dangerous if you don't pay attention to the stock count, but Joe can afford to make mistakes at this percent.
I mean, you can only make so many mistakes against the #1 player in Pennsylvania. Right?
That's certainly true.
You don't want to play with your food too much.
But, I mean, there is something to be said. Maybe sacrificing a stock so that now you don't have the rage interfering with your confirms any.
Maybe. Maybe. Joe could be ahead of the game. Just like that. That wouldn't have worked without rage.
Yeah, exactly.
Or with rage, I should say.
Yeah, so there you go. Maybe, that was all according to plan.
Yep. If you ask him, he'll always say it's according to plan.
All according to
Even though it's blatantly obvious. Like, Joe, did you mean to footstool like 3 times? Like, oh, yeah, I totally meant to.
Yep. I wasn't mashing X.
Yeah.
Y, whichever one you used to jump. L. Some people L jump.
Seagull Joe, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he more of a villain or a hero archetype? I have to
You're
ask.
new here. He's a villain.
Yeah.
All right. He will tell you he is a villain.
He's a villain and loves it.
Yeah.
So like lawful good, chaotic, like, lawful evil, chaotic evil.
He's Seagull Joe, man.
Yeah.
He defies.
Seagull Joe evil.
Yeah.
No alignment system, just like 5th edition.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. He's a good guy. But he's... in game, he's a jerk sometimes.
I mean, he's playing Diddy Kong, so there's a certain amount of villainy that comes intrinsic to playing that character.
Mm-hmm. But also, a surprise switch coming through from Blazing Pasta. Well, he is known for like his Ness and his Peach, but the reason I say surprise switch is because this matchup like is known for a lot of Peach mains to be very hard, but just like that, but a stitch on deck.
I absolutely agree with this switch because what we saw in the first game, Seagull Joe was keeping stage control, like the ground game, he was winning that really hard. And because of like, you know, the height of Diddy Kong, it makes it really hard to land with aerials against him. It's easy to whiff. But Peach can cancel her upward momentum out of like short hops or full hops using the float, meaning that she's able to use aerials safely or more safely than Ness against Diddy. And I think that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a more aerial-focused game coming from Blazing Pasta. And so far, it's you know, it's sort of paying off. They're keeping percents even.
The problem with that like whole analysis that you gave right there is that like I do agree with everything you said, but it all falls apart to Diddy's forward air. Diddy's forward air like will stuff a lot of these options and you can react to it on float. So
that's
like,
a point, but if you, I mean, I'm not sure. Peach's air drift is pretty good. Maybe whiff punishing plays a role. Like if you whiff punish forward air with maybe your own forward air, it's possible. And Peach also has that back air, which is really fast. So going air to air may not be quite as bad as it seems. I know forward air is a very strong option, but it's not quite as strong as banana confirms into grabs and up smashes and all those good kill confirms. You'll see forward air will kill a lot later than Diddy Kong's options on the ground, which means that Blazing Pasta is able to stay alive for longer. And I mean, Peach isn't, you know, she doesn't dislike having a lot of rage. She's able to hang on to it, you know, then her smash attacks on the ground become a lot scarier, and certainly her hard-hitting aerials become scarier.
But that rage is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that up smash, once again, Joe's pretty much like 3 for 4 on these up smashes. He's been landing them pretty consistently.
That's true, and I think the one he missed was just Ness popped out.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a very good presence of mind there. Like the banana trip, I believe it was a banana trip.
Yeah, easy dropped it.
Into a grab confirm. 139% on Joe, but I mean he's not really looking. He's trying to, you know, still play a safe zoning game, tack on some extra credit probably before dropping this first stock here, which I think we will see, provided, you know, reads are on point.
It'll probably be to a forward air at this point, unless like, you know, Blazing Pasta can sneak in and get that back throw in. But you know, Peach does kind of have some trouble killing around this percent. Back throw, not going to do it center stage, but you have to be at the ledge around this percent. But a lot of the times Peach will have that Marth syndrome, where if she doesn't really set up into her kills after a certain point, it kind of falls apart. Blazing Pasta starting to look for the dash attack, which should kill about now, but sometimes characters will pop out of that just because of SDI, DI, or little spacing quirks. And
I mean, I said Seagull would probably drop a stock, but it doesn't look like he's really modified his game plan, even with this high percent. Will fortunately drop a stock, so I'm not a liar or anything, but you know, Seagull Joe is playing this so patiently. It's honestly, I think it's, as you said, you sort of have to hold forward, but I think there's a certain amount of, like, it does fluster players whenever you start playing really patiently, forcing them to continually approach. Maybe they stop thinking, maybe they get impatient, and maybe some of that's happening here. We're seeing Blazing Pasta sort of committing to advances that are unsafe against Diddy Kong.
I mean, if you think this is like flustering to play against his Sonic, this is a different story too.
Super campy, or? Yes
and no. Campy enough to tilt you.
Campy enough. That's a good answer. Yeah. But this Diddy Kong. This Diddy Kong packed like a weekend bag full of like canned food and warm clothes. This man
fire's going.
He was ready to go into the mountains and survive for like a week on nothing but supplies. He was ready. Like that's how much this Diddy Kong is camping.
But it pays off for him. Just after a certain point, Peach has to go in on you. She has like one of the slowest ground and air speeds in the game, unfortunately. So it's something that you can react to, and just like that, Joe was ready to up smash him as soon as he committed to something.
Roasted marshmallows on that up smash.
Delicious. All right, so we still have more Xanadu after this, but we are moving into